Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. I'm here with another list that I'm super excited to share with you. Today we're diving into the top 30 underrated games on Nintendo Switch. These are the hidden gems that deserve way more love than they're getting. Trust me, after watching this video, your wish list is going to explode. Let's jump right in. Pine Hearts is this cozy adventure game that hits you right in the feels. You play as Tyke, who's dealing with his father's death and returns to his childhood summer camp to figure things out. The story tackles heavy themes like grief and growing up, but does it in such a gentle way that never feels overwhelming. The gameplay mixes exploration with simple puzzles as you walk around the beautiful camp, talk to other campers, and slowly piece together memories. What makes it special is how it handles emotions. You're not just collecting items or solving puzzles, you're actually processing feelings and learning to cope. The art style looks like a living storybook with soft colors and charming character designs. It's only about 4 hours long, but those 4 hours will stick with you for a long time. If you've ever lost someone important or just need a game that understands what it's like to hurt, Pine Hearts is absolutely worth your time. Ranger is one of the most creative puzzle games I've ever played, and I can't believe more people aren't talking about it. You control Gemma, a young girl who discovers she can move the entire world around her in a grid-based pattern, literally sliding rows and columns of the environment to solve puzzles and fight enemies. The story follows Gemma as she leaves her town to explore the world, meeting quirky characters and uncovering a mystery about why she has these strange powers. Every single thing you do involves manipulating the grid. Walking moves the world around you. Combat requires positioning enemies into traps or weapons, and even conversations can be puzzles where you slide words around. It sounds confusing, but feels natural once you get it. The hand-drawn art style is gorgeous with vibrant colors and smooth animations. Iconoclasts is a Metroidvania that deserves to be mentioned alongside Hollow Knight and Ori. You play as Robin, a mechanic living in a world controlled by a religious organization called One Concern that forbids unauthorized repairs. When Robin's illegal fixing gets her in trouble, she gets caught up in a rebellion that uncovers dark secrets about her world's history. The pixel art is absolutely stunning with incredibly detailed animations and creative enemy designs. Combat feels great with Robin's stun gun and wrench combo, plus you unlock different wrench types that change how you fight and solve puzzles. The platforming is tight and satisfying, with new abilities that open up previous areas in classic Metroidvania style. What sets it apart is the deep story that deals with heavy themes like religious control, environmental destruction, and personal responsibility. American Arcadia blew my mind with its unique concept and incredible presentation. You're watching a TV show where people live normal lives in a perfect city, except they don't know they're being watched by millions of viewers. When someone's ratings drop, they get canceled permanently. The story follows Trevor, a low-rated resident who discovers the truth and tries to escape with help from a mysterious programmer named Angela. The gameplay switches between 2.5D platforming sections where you control Trevor sneaking through the city and 3D puzzle segments where you play as Angela hacking the system to help him. The visual style is amazing. The TV show portions look like a retro 50s sitcom while the behind-the-scenes parts are dark and gritty. The writing is sharp and tackles themes about reality TV, surveillance, and entertainment culture. Iron Meat is pure old-school run-and-gun action that feels like Contra had a baby with modern indie game design. Earth is overrun by grotesque alien meat monsters, and you're part of a Special Forces team trying to take back the planet. The story is simple but effective. Humanity is on the brink of extinction and you're the last hope. What matters here is the gameplay, and it absolutely nails the classic formula. You run, jump, and shoot through incredibly detailed pixel art levels filled with horrifying enemies and massive boss fights. The weapon variety is fantastic with machine guns, flamethrowers, laser cannons, and more exotic tools of destruction. Co-op play makes it even better. Grab a friend and blast through the campaign together. The difficulty is challenging but fair, with multiple difficulty options so players of all skill levels can enjoy it. Prince of Persia. The Lost Crown proves that Prince of Persia still has magic in 2024. You play as Sargon, a member of the elite Immortals Guard who must rescue the kidnapped Prince Ghassan from the cursed Mount Kav. The mountain exists outside of time, with past, present, and future all mixed together, creating a mysterious world full of temporal puzzles. This is a Metroidvania through and through, with tight platforming that captures the fluid movement the series is known for. Time powers are the star here. You can slow down time, create time echoes to solve puzzles, and even rewind objects to their previous states. Combat is fast and skill-based with parrying, dodging, and combo attacks that feel amazing to pull off. The hand-drawn art style is gorgeous with Persian-inspired architecture and mythological creatures. The story deals with loyalty, corruption, and the price of immortality without getting too heavy. Ender Magnolia is the sequel to Ender Lilies and improves on everything that made the first game special. You play as Lilac, an artificial being called a homunculus who awakens in a world corrupted by magical pollution called the Blight. The story slowly reveals the tragic history of this world and Lilac's role in both its destruction and potential salvation. Like its predecessor, this is a Metroidvania where you don't directly attack enemies. Instead, you purify corrupted spirits who then fight alongside you with their unique abilities. Each spirit you save becomes a new attack or movement option, creating a growing arsenal of powers. The hand-drawn art is breathtakingly beautiful, with ethereal environments and smooth character animations. The soundtrack by multiple composers creates an emotional journey that perfectly matches the melancholy story. Platforming feels weightless and graceful, making exploration a joy. Loddlenaut is the most wholesome game on this list, and exactly what I needed after playing too many dark, serious games. You're an interstellar environmental cleanup crew member sent to clean up ocean planets polluted by corporate waste. Instead of being preachy about environmentalism, it makes cleaning fun and rewarding. You swim around underwater collecting trash, purifying water, and helping adorable sea creatures called Loddles recover their habitat. The Loddles are the heart of the game. These little blob creatures have unique personalities and will follow you around, help with tasks, and even play with toys you give them. As you clean each area, plants grow back, the water becomes clearer, and more Loddles appear. The progression system rewards you with new cleaning tools, Loddle accessories, and base upgrades. The art style is colorful and cheerful with smooth underwater movement that feels great. Nobody Saves the World has one of the most creative gameplay systems I've ever experienced. You start as Nobody, a pale, featureless character who finds a magic wand that lets you transform into different forms, like a rat, knight, horse, or even a toilet. Yes, a toilet that can fight enemies. Each form has unique abilities and its own quest list to complete, unlocking new forms and upgrades. The story is surprisingly engaging as nobody tries to save the world from the calamity while discovering their own identity. What makes this game special special is how forms can mix abilities. You might play as a horse with a fireball spell, or a zombie that can turn invisible. Combat starts simple but becomes incredibly deep as you experiment with different combinations. The top-down art style is charming with great animation work that brings each transformation to life. Dungeons change layout based on which forms you bring, encouraging you to try different approaches. Path of the Teal. Lotus is hands down the most beautiful Metroidvania I've played in years. You play as Bo, a fox spirit on a journey through Japanese folklore to become immortal and save her fellow spirits. The story draws from real Japanese myths and legends, creating a world that feels both fantastical and authentic. Every single frame looks like traditional Japanese artwork brought to life with hand-drawn animation that flows like silk. Combat is based on your magical staff that can extend, sweep, and unleash elemental attacks, with each ability feeling powerful and precise. The platforming incorporates unique mechanics like wall running, air dashing, and spirit transformations that let you squeeze through tight spaces or float over obstacles. Boss fights are epic encounters against massive mythological creatures that test everything you've learned. Freedom Planet 2 is what happens when passionate indie developers perfect the classic Sonic formula better than Sonic himself. You play as anthropomorphic heroes Lilac, Carol, and Milla as they face a new threat that could destroy their world. Each character plays completely differently. Lilac can fly and spin dash, Carol rides a motorcycle and wall jumps, while Milla uses psychic powers and can fly. The story deals with friendship, responsibility, and growing up, with surprisingly deep character development and voice acting that rivals big-budget games. Combat mixes high-speed platforming with beat-em-up fighting, letting you punch enemies while running at breakneck speeds. The pixel art is gorgeous with incredibly smooth animations that put most retro-style games to shame. Boss fights are epic multi-phase battles that test your mastery of each character's unique abilities. Beyond Galaxyland is a turn-based RPG that feels like playing through a Saturday morning cartoon, and I mean that in the best way possible. You play as Doug, a regular guy who gets abducted by aliens and thrown into a crazy adventure across different planets to save the galaxy. The story is full of humor and heart, with memorable characters and plot twists that kept me guessing. Combat is classic turn-based with a timing-based system where pressing buttons at the right moment increases damage and reduces incoming attacks. What makes it special is the variety. Each planet has unique enemies, environments, and gameplay gimmicks that keep things fresh. The art style is colorful and expressive with great animation work that brings every character to life. Side quests are actually interesting with their own mini stories instead of boring fetch quests. Astlibra Revision is a Japanese indie RPG that proves you don't need a massive budget to create an epic 50-hour adventure. You play as a young man who loses his memory and hometown in a demon attack, then spends years training for revenge with the help of a mysterious talking crow. The story spans decades and tackles themes like revenge, friendship, and the cost of power with multiple endings based on your choices. Combat is real-time action RPG style where you combo attacks, dodge roll, and use magic spells against varied enemies. The customization is insane. You can equip tons of different weapons, accessories, and magic stones that completely change your playstyle. Boss fights are challenging multi-phase encounters that require pattern recognition and skill. The pixel art mixes 2D sprites with 3D backgrounds, creating a unique visual style. Shogun Shogun Showdown is a brilliant puzzle game disguised as a samurai action game, and it's one of the most addictive experiences on Switch. You play as a ronin seeking revenge against the shogun who destroyed your clan. Instead of direct combat, battles play out on a grid where you and enemies take turns moving and attacking based on predetermined patterns. The genius is learning each enemy's attack pattern and positioning yourself to strike while avoiding damage. Every move matters because one mistake can end your run in classic roguelike fashion. The minimalist art style uses simple shapes and colors but creates incredibly expressive characters and smooth animations. Each enemy type has unique movement and attack patterns, from simple bandits to complex multi-stage bosses that require careful planning to defeat. Eschatos is a love letter to classic arcade shoot-'em-ups. You pilot advanced fighters against an alien invasion threatening Earth's survival. The story is minimal but effective. Humanity's last hope lies in experimental ships that can turn the tide of war. What sets it apart is the 3 different gameplay modes that completely change how you approach each level. Original mode is classic vertical scrolling, advanced mode adds time manipulation mechanics, and time attack mode focuses on score-based gameplay with tight time limits. The weapon system lets you switch between different shot types on the fly, creating strategic depth as you adapt to different enemy formations. Boss fights are spectacular screen-filling encounters that test your dodging skills and pattern recognition. The electronic soundtrack pulses with energy that perfectly matches the intense action. Retro Revengers captures the spirit of classic beat-em-ups while adding modern design sensibilities that make it feel fresh and exciting. You play as pixelated heroes fighting through a city overrun by criminal gangs, with a story that parodies 80s action movies in the best way possible. The combat system takes cues from Streets of Rage and Final Fight, but adds new mechanics like environmental attacks, team-up moves, and special abilities that make fights more dynamic. Each character has a unique fighting style with different combos, special moves, and strengths that encourage experimenting with different approaches. The pixel art is incredibly detailed with smooth animations and creative enemy designs that bring personality to every thug and boss. Co-op play supports up to 4 players locally, making it perfect for couch gaming sessions with friends. Bit Adventures 2 is the JRPG that classic game fans have been waiting for, combining old-school charm with modern quality of life improvements. You play as a group of heroes trying to stop an ancient evil from returning to destroy the world, but the story has way more depth than that simple premise suggests. The turn-based combat uses a timing-based system where hitting button prompts at the right moment increases damage and reduces incoming attacks, keeping battles engaging instead of mindless menu clicking. Character customization is deep with multiple classes, skill trees, and equipment options that let you build your party however you want. The pixel art is gorgeous with detailed animations and environments that feel like the best 16-bit games but with modern polish. Grapple Dogs, Cosmic Canines perfects the momentum-based platforming formula with some of the most satisfying movement mechanics I've ever experienced. You play as Pablo, a space-traveling dog who uses his grappling hook to swing through levels at incredible speeds while collecting cosmic bones and rescuing other dogs. The story is simple but charming. Pablo's on a mission to save his friends from an evil cat empire across different planets. What makes this game special is how the grappling feels. There's a perfect weight and momentum to every swing that makes chaining movements together incredibly satisfying. Level design is brilliant with multiple paths, hidden secrets, and creative challenges that reward mastery of the grappling mechanics. Each world introduces new elements like gravity switches, moving platforms, and environmental hazards that keep the gameplay fresh. Momodora. Moonlit Farewell is the perfect finale to one of indie gaming's most beloved Metroidvania series, delivering everything fans could want while being accessible to newcomers. You play as Momo, a priestess on a pilgrimage to cleanse a cursed land and save its people from a spreading corruption. The story is told through environmental details and brief conversations, creating a melancholy atmosphere that's both beautiful and haunting. Combat is built around Momo's leaf magic and bow, with precise hitboxes and timing-based mechanics that reward skillful play over button mashing. The parry system is incredibly satisfying. Timing blocks perfectly lets you counterattack with devastating combos. Exploration is the heart of the experience with interconnected areas full of secrets, upgrades, and optional bosses that test your skills. Crypt Custodian. You play as Pluto, a cat who dies and becomes the janitor of the afterlife, cleaning up supernatural messes while helping lost souls find peace. The story deals with heavy themes like death, grief, and acceptance, but does it with such warmth and humor that it never feels depressing. Instead of traditional combat, you use cleaning tools like mops and brooms to solve puzzles and interact with the environment in creative ways. The Metroidvania progression comes from upgrading your cleaning equipment and unlocking new areas of the afterlife to explore. What makes this game incredible is how it handles its themes. Every character you meet has their own story about loss and moving on, creating genuine emotional moments that hit differently than any other game. Teslagrad Remastered is a gorgeous puzzle platformer that tells its entire story without a single word of dialogue, and it's absolutely brilliant. You play as a young boy fleeing from an authoritarian regime, seeking refuge in an abandoned Tesla tower filled with electromagnetic mysteries. The gameplay revolves around magnetism. You can magnetize objects and yourself with positive or negative charges, then use attraction and repulsion to solve puzzles and traverse the environment. What makes it incredible is how intuitive the magnetic mechanics feel once you understand them, but the puzzles get incredibly creative and challenging. The hand-drawn art style is breathtaking with steampunk-inspired designs and fluid animations that bring the world to life. Boss battles are epic encounters where you must use magnetic powers creatively to defeat massive mechanical enemies. Citizen Sleeper 2 is a narrative RPG that combines dice rolling mechanics with deep storytelling in ways I've never seen before. You play as a sleeper, an artificial consciousness in a robotic body, trying to survive in a harsh space station while uncovering conspiracies and forming relationships. The story deals with themes of identity, mortality, and what it means to be human when you're technically not. Each day you roll dice that determine what actions you can take, creating tension as you balance survival needs with personal goals. What makes it special is how your choices genuinely matter. Relationships you build, jobs you take, and secrets you uncover all shape your unique story. The writing is incredible with complex characters that feel real despite the sci-fi setting. Anomaly Agent is a cyberpunk beat-em-up that perfectly captures the neon-soaked aesthetic and high-energy action of classic arcade games while adding modern depth. You play as Agent 70, an anomaly hunter tasked with eliminating glitches in the system that threaten reality itself. The story unfolds through stylish cutscenes and in-game dialogue as you uncover a conspiracy that goes deeper than simple system errors. Combat is fast and fluid with combo attacks, special moves, and environmental interactions that make every fight feel dynamic. What sets it apart is the anomaly system. Enemies and environments can glitch out mid-fight, creating unpredictable situations that keep you on your toes. The pixel art is absolutely stunning with incredible attention to detail in character animations and background elements. Each level introduces new enemy types and mechanics while maintaining the core beat-em-up gameplay that feels so satisfying. Sanabi is a cyberpunk action platformer with some of the most satisfying grappling mechanics I've ever experienced in a game. You play as a retired veteran turned bounty hunter, using a prosthetic arm with a grappling hook to navigate a dystopian city and hunt down targets. The story deals with corporate control, environmental destruction, and finding purpose after trauma, told through gorgeous pixel art cutscenes and environmental storytelling. The grappling hook isn't just for movement, it's your primary tool for combat, puzzle solving, and traversal, creating incredibly fluid gameplay where you're constantly swinging, attacking, and problem solving. What makes it special is how the grappling feels weighty and realistic, while still being fast and responsive. Boss battles are creative encounters that require mastering the grappling mechanics in new ways, from fighting massive robots to chasing targets through collapsing buildings. Unsighted is an isometric action RPG that creates genuine emotional investment through its unique time limit mechanic, and it's one of the most underrated games on Switch. You play as Alma, an android searching for her missing lover Anima in a post-apocalyptic world where all androids are slowly losing power and dying. The story explores love, sacrifice, and what you'll do to save the people you care about when time is running out. What makes it incredible is that every character in the game has a limited lifespan. NPCs will actually die if you don't help them extend their time, creating real consequences for your choices. Combat is challenging and skill-based with dodge rolling, parrying, and weapon variety that rewards mastery. The pixel art is gorgeous with detailed environments and expressive character animations that bring the world to life. Lunark is a cinematic platformer that perfectly captures the feel of classic games like Prince of Persia and Another World while adding modern polish and design sensibilities. You play as Leo, awakening from cryo-sleep to find humanity living underground while the surface is controlled by mysterious aliens. The story unfolds like a sci-fi thriller with plot twists, conspiracy elements, and genuine mystery that kept me guessing throughout. The animation is absolutely incredible. Every movement is handcrafted with rotoscoped fluidity that makes Leo feel like a real person navigating dangerous environments. Platforming requires precision and timing as you run, jump, climb, and solve environmental puzzles to progress through each area. What sets it apart is how it balances challenge with accessibility. Difficult sections feel fair and reward careful observation and practice. Astral Ascent is a roguelike platformer that combines tight combat with meaningful character progression in ways that kept me coming back for dozens of runs. You play as one of 4 unique characters who've been trapped in a mysterious prison and must fight through multiple dimensions to escape and uncover the truth about your imprisonment. Each character has completely different abilities and playstyles, from magic-focused spellcasters to melee fighters, making every run feel distinct. The story unfolds gradually through dialogue between runs and environmental details, creating an intriguing mystery about the nature of your prison. Combat is fast and responsive with combo attacks, spellcasting, and precise platforming that feels amazing when you master it. Rogue Legacy 2 takes everything that made the original great and improves on it in every possible way, creating one of the most addictive and rewarding roguelikes ever made. You play as generations of heroes from the same family, each with unique traits and classes, attempting to explore a cursed castle and defeat the evil within. When you die, you choose your next heir from 3 randomly generated descendants who inherit some of your previous progress. What makes it incredible is how death never feels like failure. Every run earns you gold to upgrade your castle and unlock new abilities for future generations. The trait system is genius, giving each heir unique characteristics like being nearsighted, having IBS, or being a pacifist, which change how you play while adding personality and humor. The 100 line, Last Defense Academy on Nintendo Switch is a gripping fusion of tactical RPG and visual novel, created by the minds behind Danganronpa and Zero Escape. Set in a mysterious academy under siege, you play as Takumi Sumino, one of 15 students forced to defend their school from strange alien invaders over a harrowing 100-day period. Battles unfold in strategic, grid-based combat, while narrative segments between skirmishes offer deep character development and impactful choices. With over 100 possible endings and a script as long as 60 novels, the game is packed with rich storytelling and emotional twists. Every decision shapes the outcome, pushing players to consider the consequences of their actions.
各メンバーのスキルを使って敵を効率的に殺しまくる。ボルテージが 100% 以上溜まったら必殺技で広範囲を一気殲滅。
Shotgun Cop Man takes the top spot because it's the most purely fun and creative game on this entire list, proving that simple concepts executed perfectly can be absolutely magical. You play as a cop with a shotgun who must fight through increasingly ridiculous scenarios to save the day, and the entire experience is pure joy from start to finish. The story is intentionally over the top with ridiculous dialogue and situations that had me laughing constantly, but it never feels dumb or lazy. It's smart comedy disguised as simple fun. The gameplay revolves around your shotgun, which serves as both weapon and movement tool. Shooting downward lets you rocket jump, shooting enemies launches you backward, and creative use of knockback creates incredible mobility options. What makes it incredible is how the simple mechanics create endless creative possibilities for movement and combat. That's another 30 incredible underrated Nintendo Switch games that deserve your attention. Which one are you most excited to try? Have you played any of these hidden gems already? Drop a comment and share your thoughts. Hit that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch discoveries. Thanks for watching.